Welcome to Once Upon a Sunday Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, Josh. With me is Viking Dave, and we are here to break down the top. I don't know if I'm going through all 60
No, we don't have time for
dynasty
that.
wide receivers, but we will get through a ton, and we will critique my rankings. But first,
We
let's
can
get
talk
into-
about number 60, that bum that you put at number 60.
You know why I put him there. You
Just
know
to be on
why I
the
put him
list.
there. Yeah. All right.
That's all.
But before we get to that, let's get to some business. As always, we've moved to Wednesday nights here on the Fins Talk Sports Network. It's just a better fit for the show, better fit for Dave, better fit for myself and for everyone else involved. So set your schedules, hit that alert button, hit the subscribe button. Wednesday nights, every single night moving forward at 8 p.m. only on the Fins Talk Sports Network. For all you audio listeners out there, follow them on Twitter at Fins Talk Sports Network. Follow me at Josh Kimmel OUS, and follow Dave if you're not blocking him already at Viking David 1828. Who knows?
Viking Dave 18. Get it right.
But yeah. But is it 18? Okay.
18.
Got it. You change it every 5 minutes because I don't know if you create new accounts. I don't know what you're doing over there.
I kept that one the same for a while. Haven't been booted in a while, so we're good for now.
So we have some news. Well, actually, we don't really have any news, but I was just having the funnest time laughing at Twitter right before we actually went on during that hour-long introduction. Somebody said that they cannot tag you in the best division because we don't know why. And then I thought it was a hilarious. Did you see that?
Yeah, but he didn't think he didn't tag anybody.
So he tagged me. So
Where?
If you don't know what we're talking about, go to our Twitter. We're talking about the Scott Fish Bowl. We are both invited and we are both accepting the invites. I don't know if anyone's declined a Scott Fish Bowl invite. Probably somebody has, but we accept and we will be showing up in Orlando. In the Orlando live draft. I'm picking 101. And Dave, you are picking, I think, 107, 108.
107.
107.
I got in only because what's funny is I probably would have missed out on our division. Maybe if you didn't text me, because I got the email earlier in that morning, but I was too busy to look at it. I just assumed, oh, no big deal, it's fine. And then when you mentioned it, I was like, okay, let me check it. You already had your draft spot, you had all that stuff picked out, and I was like, let me get in. But I didn't know it was like that much of a rush. So I had only 3 spots to choose from, 7, 8, 9, and I just went with 7. So
yeah,
I'm good with it.
We got our invites a couple days ago, and I'm sitting there going, man, I got invited, and I saw because I was already in the Scott Fish Bowl Orlando chat, and I saw that you left the chat. And we don't need to talk. We don't need to talk about why and what happened. We don't need to know. Dave did nothing wrong. Just want to get that out there. Dave did nothing wrong, but I saw him leave the chat, and then I saw someone post. Our good friend of the show came on, Zach Attack on Twitter. He put in the chat, third wave coming, and I'm like, oh boy, because that means we're all going to get in, except for Dave because he left the chat. I thought he got booted for some reason, but of course he's in. So yes, meet us out there if you want to, Orlando. Oh, don't meet us out there. Actually, we're just going to draft. Don't bring anyone.
Then we're going to get drunk after like last year.
I'm not.
Yeah, you are. You have to.
I'll go out there and I'll have fun. As long as that dude's coming from the last time.
Who was buying us shots.
As long as he comes.
We even know who he was. He's like, shots on me. We're like, all right, why not?
I will definitely go with him. But Faith, I just want to call you out real quick. I know you're not watching.
Oh, no. You know what? Screw Faith.
No, I am disappointed. She's going to the live draft again.
In LA.
In Orlando. She's going out to LA.
Why should act like LA is cool? LA is not cool.
And I'll tell you what, we need Faith because honestly, we're outcast in this community because of you. Mainly because of you.
I don't know what that. Nobody knows me.
And Faith is kind of like no guys, like he's cool. Like she's really like, oh yeah, no, these guys are cool. Don't worry. And now she's not there to protect us, so we're all alone.
That's all right. I'll do my own protecting.
Or we'll figure it out. But let's get right into the rankings. Because there's really no news, and I just want to let everyone know this is the last Dynasty show. We are not Dynasty show overall, but the ranking show. I'm not going to waste your time or my time ranking tight ends. I will have a rankings up and I'll put them on my Twitter, but to dedicate an entire show on a position that has like 5 good players, it's not worth it. Do you agree, David?
Yeah, they're all scrubs.
Yeah, they're all scrubs. So let's just go down 1 through 5. Let's go slow. All right. I want to see if you have any problems. Justin Jefferson, number 1. Jamar Chase, number 2. I need you to look at me or give me like a. You serious?
Side eye. Can you see the side eye?
I can't because I'm not looking.
I'm giving you side eye.
So you don't like Justin Jefferson 1 and Jace 2?
Of course I do. I'm looking at you while I'm looking at your rankings.
All right. CD Lamb, number 3. Okay. AJ Brown, number 4. And we'll go the Penguin himself, Jalen Waddle, number 5. That might be my homerism. That might be that he's that damn good. I'll let you decide. What do you think it is, Dave? Do you think he belongs in the top 5 dynasty wide receivers? Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think so. Or he's right. He's borderline. He's right there with Garrett Wilson, who you have next. And yeah, I mean, Waddle's a stud. He's young. He's a young stud.
That's what I was going to ask you. Would you prefer? I thought you were going to kind of like not fight me on this, but kind of contest me. He's the number 2 right now. I don't know for how long. Tyreek did mention bring up an age where he did want to retire at a certain age. I forgot what it was. Bobby, if you're back there, if you know it, shout it out.
He said at the end of his contract. So I don't know how many years he's got left on that, like 2 years, something like that.
So Jalen Waddle is going to be he's going to be the number 2 in this offense for the foreseeable future. Whereas Garrett Wilson is going to be the 1.
What did you do last year? Okay, awesome. I don't care about number 2, number 1. I care about who does what with what. Like that's all I care about. And he's not like T. Higgins, who's a fucking bum. He's actually really good.
You better stop with your T. Higgins slander over here. 2 years left for Hill.
I mean, T. Higgins disappears way too often to be called, as in your words, an alpha. An alpha what? What is he an alpha of? Disappearing when you need him most in the championship game? Is that what he is?
I did not. I do not call him alpha anymore. I've dropped the nickname. He's no longer the alpha. We're not talking about
he was never the alpha. He was never close to the alpha.
We're not talking T. Higgins right now. We're talking Jalen Waddle.
Okay. Anyways,
the only thing I worry is when Tua did miss games last year, did we see a drop in production? Did we see that those numbers go away? Because let's just be honest here. You know, from week 13, he had 1.9, and week 14, 5.1. And a bunch of average games before that. So I don't care about the low games. I mean, that happens to every receiver. Obviously, it happens to Justin Jefferson. It happens to Stephon Diggs. It just happens to everyone. My worry is he going to be a primary target if Tua's not on the field and they have a Mike White or someone else throwing the ball? Because most likely the backup quarterbacks are throwing it to the alphas, which is Tyreek still.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess if you want me to fight you on it,
I don't want you to fight me on it. I'm just doing the fight that I thought you were gonna get. I'm giving the people what they want.
No,
they wanted
can we
this.
Talk about how AJ Brown's a superstar, like I told you, like 2 years ago, and you and Finn wanted to fight me and say, "Oh, well, what's the difference between AJ Brown and Mike Evans?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know, maybe like 6 years in age, and AJ Brown has a chance to be the wide receiver 1 overall. I don't know. Maybe that's just me." And what happens? You got him as wide receiver 4 now. I see Mike Evans way down on that list.
I have been off Mike Evans I've been trying to trade this dude, Mike Evans, for at least 3 years now. I'm just saying,
I literally got that question to me from somebody saying, what's the difference between Mike Evans and AJ Brown? There's a big difference.
When Finn brings that up, you can talk to Finn. But when I bring it up, I would never compare someone like AJ Brown to Mike Evans. I wouldn't. I just know that.
First of all, like 2 years ago, you were not on the AJ Brown train.
I wasn't.
Not okay. Who was?
You were.
Thank you.
Dave, we could do this about a lot of people, buddy. If you want to bring up like the Austin Ecklers of the world and
Austin
many,
Eckler,
many,
we're not going to go talk about how you got lucky with one guy.
How I got lucky with one guy. Okay. With one guy. I mean, if you really want to like break down everything, Dave, from the beginning, from the, we can write a whole book on this about how many players you missed on and how many players I missed on. It happens. That's what we do.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't miss. Really? Tell me. Was Josh Allen your number 1 quarterback in that draft? No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
I was getting laughed at.
First of all, act like you're Mel Kiper Jr.
You guys were like, "Oh, this guy thinks this guy." I told you so. So if you really want to play that game, I can throw stuff.
We can do that game all day long.
I have no time for that game
tonight. That being said, the more I think about it, I honestly think I would take Garrett Wilson over Jalen Waddle slightly. And I say that because I think he's got Aaron Rodgers for 2 years, and I think he's gonna ball out. The way he played last year, he looked like a superstar. And that's what you want to see. Like, you want to see this. Like, if Waddle was in the Jets, I think I would take him. I just think Wilson was a stud with trash QBs, and now he's got Rodgers, who's probably just going to pepper him with targets. I love Garrett Wilson. I'm all over Garrett Wilson. So I mean, by a hair, I would take Wilson over Waddle, but that's
It is
still
okay.
close.
So let's just be real here. To me, they are on the same level, the same
Yeah,
level
I think
of
they're
value.
same tier. I agree with
So
that.
if somebody like I have Jalen Waddle everywhere and I have Garrett Wilson everywhere, so I'm living the best of both worlds because I was high on them. But if I rostered Jalen Waddle and someone offered me Garrett Wilson, straight up, it would be hard for me to turn that down to acquire Garrett Wilson and give up Waddle. But if I had Garrett Wilson and someone offered me Waddle again, because it'd be super hard for me to pick a side. But I did. Jalen Waddle's my guy. God, I love Garrett Wilson, dude.
Me too.
I'm just looking at his stats. Like he had 147 targets last year, number 6 overall as a rookie with the bummest quarterback group in the world. The bummest.
I know. That's why I'm excited to see what he'll do with Rodgers.
Yeah, I love him. Love him, love him. All right, let's go a little bit more. So we got 6, Garrett Wilson, we touched on. 7, Stephon Diggs, the oldest player in the top 10 so far. Amon-Ra St. Brown at number 8, Cooper Kupp, another 29-year-old at number 9, and Chris Olave at number 10. Do I have these older guys way too high?
No, because receivers can play into their early 30s, early even mid 30s, so 32, 33. So I think you got 3 years left with these guys at least. Let me look at Kupp had an injury.
Well, Kupp had the injury, of course.
Is he going to be, healthy again? I guess is a question. But I love Cooper Kupp. I mean, there's no reason why he shouldn't catch another 100 balls, assuming he's healthy. Diggs, same thing. He's going to be a monster. I mean, they have nobody else. I mean, unless they sign DeAndre Hopkins, which is, one of the rumors going out. Even still, I mean, there's nobody else on that team that should draw major targets. So I don't see that changing much. Amon-Ra, he balled out. I'll give him credit. I didn't think he had it in him, but he's been really good the last 2 years. Olave was awesome last year. I can't argue with too much with any of these players. No.
So the reason why I put Stephon Diggs as the highest oldest dude is because I like his quarterback situation over all the other older dudes. That's including Tyreek at 29 years old as well. Cooper Kupp, like I stated, and Devontae Adams is somewhere. He's not too far down. I believe he's 15 at 30 years old.
Yeah.
I just prefer Stephon Diggs' situation, his quarterback, the amount of times they throw the football. No one throws the football more, I don't think, than the Buffalo Bills, or at least in the top 3 every single year with Josh Allen. Stephon Diggs is going to get a lot of red zone targets as well. He does that a lot. A lot of people don't really see that, and that's huge for a guy like Stephon Diggs. Because let's be honest, when I see the Buffalo Bills in the red zone, I'm thinking, okay, Josh Allen's going to scramble, or Josh Allen's going to find Stephon Diggs. And that's pretty much what happens in the red zone.
Usually,
it's kind of like clockwork.
Or Dawson Knox touchdown.
Don't bring that bum up. I mean, he is the next
touchdown.
He is the next George Kittle. So that's what I was told.
I mean, he might be one day, maybe on that win.
To back up my claim on the red zone targets, Stephon Diggs last year had 23, which is 4th overall in the NFL. Like I knew it was, I just didn't have it written down. So the dude is getting peppered. Yeah. He had 11 catches in the red zone. So that's why he's a stud. That's why I had him so far,
Diggs
so high up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so. I guess that's your guy. Let's go from 11 down. So we have T. Higgins at 11. Last year, he probably would have been higher. Devontae Smith at 12. DK Metcalf, 13. Tyreek Hill, 14. Devontae Adams, 15. Let's go down to Drake London at 16. Even I think I'm too high on Drake London.
I don't know how he's so high. I don't know. People love him. He had some good games. I just don't know what to think of him. I really don't. I really, really don't. I don't know how to rank him. I'm so confused on him, honestly. Higgins he's not a wide receiver 1. I'm sorry. I'd take a lot of guys over him. Devontae Smith, DK, Tyreek, Devontae Adams. I'd take all those guys over him. Even though I think T. Higgins, I told you this before. I think T. Higgins is a great NFL receiver. But he's so inconsistent as a fantasy wide receiver.
Look, the other guys are too. The other guys are too. Devontae Smith and DK Metcalf aren't the biggest consistent receivers of all time.
I just prefer the other guys more. That's just what I would do. I would take Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams over him too, even though they're older.
So if I had Devontae Adams, I can get T. Higgins from you straight up. That's what you're telling me.
Probably. It depends on my team. If my team was really good, at 100%.
Of course. I mean, that's
100%.
to me,
Okay.
it's a no-brainer.
I mean, if
But
my
the thing,
team's trash, then yeah,
if you really want me to defend, I was going to talk Drake London, but if you really want me to defend T. Higgins, I will. I mean, I really don't want to at this point.
Go ahead.
I mean, the guy hurt me last year, big time. You know that.
I know that. He cost me a championship.
He cost me championships. Of course he did. But I don't hold grudges, man. I really don't hold grudges. If you look at the numbers from the year before and the year now, it's almost identical, except for he played 3 extra games. 2021, he played 14 games at 110 targets. This year, it took him 17 games to get 110 targets. He actually had 1 extra target.
Think about that. 17 games, he only had 110 targets.
Same thing for receptions. 2021, he had 74. This year, or the last year, he had 75. So 1 extra catch, just in 3 extra games. And the yardage is kind of identical, and touchdowns are kind of identical. Basically, he is as consistent as it can get. The only difference is
if he's like your number 2 guy, you're fine with that.
The only difference
I just can't have him in the top 12. What
is they're literally counting? You know, I don't know if they're counting the Buffalo game, but they are on according to Player Profiler. So how can you really count that into your game? So take that game away, right? You have to. He's counted as a game. He had 1 target, 1 catch, 13 yards. I mean, that's weird. Kind of that
doesn't count. The game doesn't even count.
It's in a stat line. It's on his, like, if you go to Player Profile and you look at the stat line, you look at every single game, it's listed week 17, 1 catch, 1 target, 13 yards. He was wide receiver 88 that week, because a lot of leagues last year were really, really ignorant and nonsensical, and they actually counted that week and said, "Oh, sorry about your luck. Yeah, someone almost died, but here's your championship."
If they did that,
I would quit the league as well. I actually did quit the league because of it.
Listen, I like T. Higgins. I think he's really good. I just think there's some other guys that would take over him. That's all.
There is a chase problem, and I can admit that there is a chase problem. But the dude gets his targets. You know, he's 10, 7, 9, 10, 7, 6, 8, 13. The dude gets targets, and plus he's paired with Joe Burrow for however long. And plus, let's be honest, next year he's going to be traded. Next year is his contract year.
They can't afford to pay Chase and Burrow and him. They can't.
So T. Higgins is odd man out, and he'll be a number 1 somewhere next year.
Okay, what if he goes to New York Giants? You want him to be number 1 for Daniel Jones? What if he goes to Atlanta?
If the Vikings are playing him every week?
Okay, well, guess what? The Vikings don't get to play him every week, unfortunately. So that's not happening. What if he goes to someplace that Tennessee? Oh, really? Is that who you want?
You're playing the what if game, and I'm playing the reality game of he's going to put up very good numbers. I promise you that. It's just.
Do you know that? You don't know that.
Yeah, I do know that.
The thing is, I think T. Higgins is really good, but I don't think he's like to the Jefferson and Chase and like these guys that like demand targets.
Okay. I'm not going to compare him to any like Hall of Fame or anything. It's not fair to the Hall of Famer or to T. Higgins, but I see him as a great Anquan Bolden to a Larry Fitzgerald, a good 1-2 punch. That can be a number 2. That can be a number 1 if he went somewhere else.
Okay, I agree with you. I'm not disputing that. I'm saying it depends on where he goes. Also, that could change. Well, 1, he could go to a place where they already either 1, don't have a good quarterback, don't have a good passing game, or 2, he could go to a place where they just drafted a young guy who's a superstar or about to be a superstar, and then basically he's number 2 again. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know that. Like, there's a lot of question marks with him. So listen, I like T. Higgins. I'm not disputing that he's really good. I just think that there's a couple guys that I'd take him over. That's all.
All right.
Can we just skip Drake London, because I don't know what to think.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to bring up the massive target share that everyone keeps talking about, but nobody gives a crap.
And I saw that on Twitter. Someone was like, "Can we normalize like actual targets?" Because like he's right. Like if this team only passes 18 times a game and he's getting 8 of them, his target share is crazy good. Okay, cool.
Before we started, I had 3 Starbursts left, and my son took 2, and I took 1. His target share, 66%. His target share is 66%, bro. Like, you got to see these numbers, man. No, exactly. There's not a lot of targets going around. The target share isn't impressive if you're still only getting, 6 targets a game. I kind of want to get that to Drake London, but you didn't really let me get there. But Keep that in
We can
mind.
talk
He's
about it if
still
you want.
young. No, he's still young. He's still growing. I liked what I saw last year. I
He
liked
had
what
some
I
good
saw.
games. He looks like he's a good player. But then again, they also got Pitts, who's, I mean, listen, I think this is the year that he has to do something. They got Bijan, who they clearly like to run. So he's also can catch. He's going to get targets. So is Pitts going to get 6 targets? London's going to get 6 targets. Bijan's going to get 6 targets. That's the 18 passes at the end of the game. So like, you know what I mean? I don't know who else is getting the ball. Is London going to get enough? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the tough
I
thing.
don't
That's
know.
why I have him low. I mean, he's 21 years old still, so he's not like he's not SJS. Yeah, he is 21 years old. He's 21 years old, and he has an opportunity to be the number one receiver on a football team, right? If you're the number one receiver on a football team, that should say something, and that's why I have
Ask
him at
Treylon
16.
Burks about that.
You knew I was down on him last year, and you see him on this list now. He's not even in the
Dude,
top.
people are still hyped on that guy.
I
You know that.
don't get why. Here's the thing. They're hyped on him, and they're hyped on Zay Flowers, and they're hyped on all these guys, all of them. But Jameson Williams is dead. For why?
Because
For
he
why?
didn't literally do nothing. People all about what have you done for me lately?
Okay. What has Treylon Burks done? What has Zay Flowers done?
Nothing.
That's my point.
Well,
My
the
point
rookie
is,
coming in is different, clearly.
why? Why? Jameson Williams had an injury, ACL injury, right?
Okay, but he came. So I do want to know. He came back, he played, and he only caught 1 ball all year. Like he was active for like the last, I don't know how many games it was, but why was he not used at all? Why is he not targeted and throwing the ball? Like to me, that's like I didn't even realize he only had that one catch until like late in the season. I was like, he really still. I know the catch was against the fucking Vikings, guy running wide open down the field. So I saw it. I saw his only catch, but why?
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't watch enough Lions games to know. But where it happened?
So he didn't run a lot of routes either. So he ran on his first game back. He ran 2 routes. So against the Vikings, his ran 6 routes. He had 2 targets, 1 catch for a touchdown. The other routes he didn't have double-digit routes ran the entire season. You can point that to was he really healthy? Was he really ready to get back on the field? Was he timid because of the injury? Was Dane Campbell not letting him play because he's like, hey, this is my asset. This is my number one guy. We took him this high. I can't just throw him out there for nothing. They were in a title. They were in the title hunt, right? They were in that NFC North title,
No,
but not
weren't.
really, right? Wild card.
They were like
Wild card.
4 games.
Wild,
Yeah,
wild
they
card.
were for a wild card. Yeah.
Look,
And so
everyone.
they had a chance. That was the last game. That's why I'm like, they had no other weapons besides Amon-Ra, like that. Nobody good.
But here's to my point. Dan Campbell has rocks for brains, like I've said before. He doesn't know how to use DeAndre Swift. And maybe his thinking was, we don't need this guy. We got my raw guys who'll run through a building, so let's rest him until later. I mean,
listen, I know what you're saying. I get it. I just question so I don't really want a guy that's playing for fucking Detroit if they're gonna treat him like that.
I have him at 24th, man. It's not like I have him super high.
No,
I
know. I'm just talking about, you're right. Like he's not super high. But I think I would take Christian Watson over him. Honestly, easily I would take Christian Watson over him.
You were so down on Christian Watson last year.
But he balled out. Down. He came in and he balled out. Like he was really good in the middle of the season. Like I was down on him. He dropped a couple balls, but guess what? He was a rookie. He made some mistakes and he came out and he played really, really well. At the end of the season, he was really doing well. I would take Watson over Jameson easily. I would probably take Hollywood. I would take Hollywood over him.
Hollywood was so hard for me to.
Hollywood was good before Hopkins came back,
no,
and
obviously,
and okay, so now Hopkins is gone. You got to worry about Kyler, but
let's get this bad boy back on the tracks. We're talking about all these names. We don't know where they're ranked. Nobody knows. We have the list, but nobody else does. So let's get back on the tracks. Let's get smooth sailing over here. JSN number 17, Seattle Seahawks. Jackson Smith, the Jinba. I'm gonna struggle all season. I'm so bad.
JSN.
It's not JSN. Debo Samuel 18. Jerry Jeudy 19. That was super hard for me to put him in the top 20. I didn't want to, but I could not. I couldn't. I still believe one more season. Chris Godwin, number 20. Jordan Addison, your guy at 21. Christian Kirk 22. DJ Moore 23, and Jameson Williams. We just spoke about him. 24. Did I say DJ Moore 24? DJ Moore 23.
Yeah.
23.
I was surprised you had Jordan Addison that high. Not gonna lie.
I
I don't disagree completely, but Christian Kirk was awesome last year. Like I'd
he's
probably take Christian Watson over him.
Christian Watson over
Addison. I
over
love
Addison.
Godwin. Yeah, just because I
Okay,
mean Addison's at best going to be the number 2. Are they going to
right. That's
be
true.
Buffalo where they throw the 1,000 times a game? I kind of think so, yes, but they also got Hawkinson, so there's weapons there. I do like Addison a lot though.
Can we talk about Christian Watson?
Can we talk about how Deebo Samuel should be higher, but I don't know where to put him?
Dave, you can say that about a lot of players. You should be higher.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know. Yeah, no crap, Dave.
like
That's why
he's so good, but
he's also 27. He's also breaking down with a lot of injuries lately. He's
because
also
he's a
not
running back.
he's also not running the ball as effective as he was that one season, which I told y'all last year wasn't going to happen. And what happened? What happened? He fell back down to earth. He was still a fine
He
player.
was still really good.
He was still a fine player, but he wasn't at that elite level. And if you didn't cash in, you kind of messed up. Like honestly, that's
Okay,
just the truth.
I don't
But,
disagree.
but let's talk about Christian Watson real quick because I knew I remembered something. Of course, his touchdowns. Of course, yeah. Anyone's gonna be awesome when you catch 3, 5, 6, 7.
He had like
touch
8 in like 4 weeks or something.
Yeah,
I know.
7 in 4 weeks, and then other than that, dog spit. He didn't hit
Okay.
double digit point. He didn't hit double digits fantasy points in a meaningful fantasy football game because we don't count week 18 without a touchdown, except for week 16 against Miami at
Okay. Well, this
10.9.
is dumb because good players score touchdowns. Are we going to not count Devontae Adams? He scores 15 every
Oh,
year.
so you better hope. So you better hope
Jesse
that
Jefferson
you
only scored
start
8.
Christian Watson those weeks he scores the multiple touchdowns because other than that, he doesn't do jack.
No,
And he
I'm
didn't
not
do
saying
jack.
that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's the number 1 option on Green Bay. They have no other good options. Like who do you even know who the number 2 receiver is? Is it Dobbs? Like I don't know. I mean,
Dobbs,
I
they
know we
got
got to
that.
worry about Love, but listen, the fact is, Christian Watson's a playmaker. I like those guys on my team. Okay, cool, yeah, he scores a lot of touchdowns. Like that's a good thing. He may not ever. He probably won't ever. I don't think he's ever going to be like a 90 or 100 catch player, but I think he can be a 75, 80 catches, 1,200 yards, and score 10 plus TDs every year. And I think that's pretty freaking good.
That would
So
be good, but I'm not willing to take the risk on a player like that when I don't know when it's coming or how it's coming or why it's coming. I just don't. I
I
just
just think his
can't.
upsides. I would take him over DJ Moore
His
because
upside, his
DJ Moore is
upside is up there
now.
because of the youth, but it's not there because of the team. The team's going to be dog shit. The offense is not going to be good. Jordan Love, we don't know. We
You're
honestly
right.
don't
We don't
know.
know.
But I
I
don't.
know
But I
that.
don't have any
You
confidence
know
in
what I
this
do know
offense
is Justin
whatsoever.
Fields is trash and DJ Moore is going to suck.
Well, yeah, I think that too. But DJ Moore has succeeded with bad quarterbacks. We've seen that. We've never seen Christian Watson succeed a full season yet, at all. You're talking about a guy who only had 65 targets last year. You're talking about a guy who didn't really contribute much except for those 4 games in the middle. Other than that, he wasn't anything.
You
He
might be
wasn't
right.
anything special. He
Okay.
didn't. He showed signs of speed. He showed signs of making plays, but that was a good run. Players have good runs. Baseball
Listen,
players get hot for a good series. Hockey
I
players score at will whenever they're hot as well. Goaltenders in the NHL get hot.
okay.
Receivers can too.
You're right. That's 100% true. I like to see that from playmakers, rookies. Like the season wasn't great. We know about his drop on the literally first play of the game, like touchdown, and it seemed like it was all down after that. But he came back. He made plays, when they needed him in the middle of the season. I just think that I wouldn't rank him very much higher. I just think he's a guy that I kind of want on my team. I think he's got a lot of upside. That's all.
The only person that you can argue with me that for me in my little brain is like, okay, Jameson Williams, because he showed 0. You're right.
Easily Jameson Williams.
That's
And DJ
someone that
Moore. I take him over both those guys.
I can't do the DJ Moore. You know that we're both down on DJ Moore. You know that. But the fact that he's the number 1 receiver there. If you want to talk about number 1 receivers,
So is Watson.
I know he is, Dave, and I don't have them that far off. Like, are you
Okay,
tone
I
deaf or
agree.
something?
You said the only thing I can argue with you about is Jameson Williams. No, that's not true. I would take him over DJ Moore. DJ Moore has a terrible quarterback. DJ Moore is older. He's on a new team. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on with
There's
him.
a lot of hurdles. There's a lot of hurdles.
I would
But
take Watson over DJ Moore.
They traded for him for a reason. They want to get DJ Moore involved, and he's been solid his entire career. He doesn't have a small sample size of 4 games to get me excited. DJ Moore has a sample size of how many seasons now of being solid, of being someone that's not going to win you a week, but he's definitely not going to lose you a week. That's 3 years of solid play. Listen,
he's a solid number 2. I just think.
And you're acting like I have him like.
I hate Justin Fields.
Super high. He's ranked 23rd. He's ranked as a low end wide receiver 2.
I think I'd take quite a few players underneath him over DJ Moore now.
You're thinking redraft right now. You're being crazy.
No, I'm not.
Who would it be? Hollywood Brown at 25?
I'd take Hollywood over him. I'd take McLaurin over him. I'd take Watson over him. I'd probably take Deontay Johnson over him.
McLaurin is so frustrating. McLaurin has to be.
I don't own McLaurin in any leagues, and I never will. I never will own him.
You don't own players.
No, I own them. I own these players. When I draft them, I own them. Literally. So I will never own these. I will never own Terry McLaurin. That's one thing I won't do. I would probably maybe Burks over DJ Moore. Probably not.
Now, okay, probably so not. We went through the top 24, which is all
Michael
I really
Pittman
wanted.
Is low, but you know what?
Thank you. I wanted you to go through. This is what I was going to ask you because you're going off. You're just doing your own path, Dave. You need to follow my direction.
I like to stray.
I want you to go through the rest of my list and point out like, whoa, like that. So Michael Pittman.
Michael Pittman. You know what's crazy though? Pittman. I think Michael Pittman and I think T. Higgins are the same person.
No, you're
yes,
stupid.
They are.
You are stupid.
I think they're the same person in different offenses. And dude, Michael Pittman's a good freaking player.
He is a good player.
Okay, I think you put Higgins in Indianapolis and he has the same trash stats because they can't throw the ball. So I think Michael Pittman's a better player than his stats show. And at this point, I'm kind of tired of Pittman just because of that offense. That seems low, but I don't know how much higher he can be. Ayuk, he's fine. Mike Williams seems really low because he's really good.
When he plays,
but he's also inconsistent. I know it. He's hurt a lot, so I agree.
And
Quentin Johnson seems high.
I put him a little bit over Mike Williams. I have
Rashad Bateman.
Can you please name or give me the numbers so people that are listening know? Dave?
What are you talking about? Like what rank you have him?
Yes.
Quentin Johnson's at 33. I think that's high.
Yes, but why? Let me ask you this: why do you think that's high? He's also a rookie, a first-round draft pick. Someone we were taking in rookie drafts at like 108, 107, Addison, or 110, 19, in that range. So Addison deserves to be super high, but Quentin Johnson.
I didn't say. I told you I think Addison should have been lower. I was surprised you have it high. I don't know. So I guess it's about perception with Johnson.
21 years old. He's going to play with Justin Herbert for the next 4 years at least.
If he's good, like he says, and he doesn't have these drops.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what we have to do. We have to go forward with these players.
I'm not disputing that. I agree.
So, Mike Williams is 28 years old. He's always, dude. You trust me. I'm 37 years old now, guys. I have never worn a weightlifting belt. Never worn a weightlifting belt in my life. Never had back problems. I've been in the chiropractor at least. I'm going to hit my deductible and health insurance just on chiropractor visits this year because I hurt my back really bad. Injuries happen to older players. Injuries happen. They freaking come up on you. And he's 28 years old. He's already been injury prone his entire career. Mike Williams will miss games this year. And you got to look at Keenan Allen, 31 years old. I have him super low. So Quentin Johnson has a path to be a number 1 receiver.
Yes, he does.
Not this year, but the next year following.
You know who's too high and he's dead to me now is Rashad Bateman at 36.
That's why I'm at 36.
It's too low. I mean, it's too high still. Pickens, I like him. He's at 35. Cooper, I hate Amari Cooper, but he was really good last year.
Amari Cooper was
Mike Evans at. Oh, by the way, Calvin Ridley at 41, way too low. Way too low, and you know
maybe, possibly, but
listen, I've been the guy that's always saying, you know it. Like you guys missed like 2 years of football, but I love Trevor Lawrence. If he does come back and he's only 28, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say I expect him to have a huge season, but I think I'd take him over quite a few of these guys in front of him. I don't know how much higher I'd have him, but I'd definitely take him over like Cooper, Zay Flower, Elijah Moore. Are you fucking stupid?
I'm not giving up on Elijah Moore. He was trained.
You're an idiot.
You want to praise Christian Watson for the 4 games, but you don't. But you want to ignore the Elijah Moore.
Moore ever done? His rookie year, he had a couple good games. Okay, and then when he literally died. Like, guy, I'm sorry. When players go from like pretty good, really good, to just being complete and irrelevant players, there's something wrong. I don't. Maybe he bounces back in Cleveland, but I don't think people go to Cleveland to bounce back. That's all I'm saying.
You're
So
saying Deshaun Watson and Amari Cooper are not going to bounce back. They're doomed.
You take it how you want it. I don't know. It's not like a bounce back spot.
Hey, Bobby, clip that. Clip that for me. People don't go to Cleveland to bounce back.
That's all I'm saying. Listen, that's not a guy I want. Like, I would take Keenan Allen. I would take Cortland Sutton. I would take Calvin Ridley easily. Mike Evans. All of these guys. Oh, I'd take Hopkins over Elijah Moore. I would take. You're getting pretty thin after that. But at least those next 5 or 6 guys, I would take over him easily or easily.
So Elijah Moore, right? Let's just talk about Elijah Moore. From week 8 on the 2021 season, yes, we're going back to 2021, his rookie season. He was putting up bangers.
He was awesome.
Getting over 8. Well, his Buffalo game, he had 6 targets. But other than that, 8 targets or more a game. And he was not touchdown dependent, kind of was. But he was also producing the yardage, producing the receptions. And he was actually finished as a top 5 receiver that year during the second half of the season. Then he got hurt week 13 against Philadelphia, didn't finish the game, didn't play the rest of the season, right? The very next season, they get Garrett Wilson. They have Zach Wilson. They have Mike White. It's a total disaster in New York. He wanted out. There was trade rumors. It was Cancer City there in New York. Of course he's not going to play well. They didn't want to play him. He didn't want to play there. It was done. I'm okay with that. So you can't tell me the real last version of Elijah Moore was week 8 on in 2021. Last year where he was a shell of himself. There's no reason to think that he can't do that again.
Himself at the beginning of the season. So why was he so irrelevant? There's a question. You have to think about that. Why was he so irrelevant? Garrett Wilson put up 1,100 yards last year with the same exact quarterback. He played on the exact same team, and he still balled the fuck out, right? So I'm just saying, Elijah Moore was irrelevant. Like, he had 0 catches in games. He basically got, like, deactivated for time. Like, that doesn't just happen to good players. Good players don't just disappear, like, completely.
It happens when they don't want to be there.
Oh, okay. Maybe he bounces back.
To players, and we can circle back to a tight end. It happens to tight ends like a Mike Gesicki, who was totally not used in the Miami Dolphins offense. But we've seen Gesicki lead the tight ends in slot reception, slot target, slot this. But again, he was ineffective last year. Why? Didn't fit the system. Didn't fit the whole atmosphere. Didn't want to block. They didn't want to play him. And he's going to be great in New England. I guarantee. And mark my words, Gesicki's going to be back in New England. People do bounce back in New England. Clip that too. So my point is, you can have a bad season. You can be not used in the right role on your current team. That doesn't mean his career is over. He's still young, 23 years old. And it's not like I have him ranked super high. I have him ranked ahead of a 28-year-old player who hasn't played football in how long? On a team, on a team with Trevor Lawrence, who's going to be locked in with Christian Kirk and Travis Etienne. We're looking at Calvin Ridley possibly being the third option out of there. It's not like he's going to come in and become a dominant role. And he never was a number one. When he became a number 1 receiver, he failed. He went that when Julio Jones left. He was never.
First of all, his second year was the second year or third year, where he had like 14. He had like 1,400 yards or something one year.
Yeah, when he was the number 2, and we all said that he was not going to be good.
Are you sure about that?
1. Yeah, he was never a good number 1. I promise you that.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure Julio was hurt that whole year because he basically was the number 1. But
I want you to look it up.
Either way, I'm not looking it up. I don't need to look at that right now. All I'm saying is, I think it's rare that a guy who's 23 years old gets traded for basically peanuts and then like bounces back. I don't know. Maybe it happens. Like, think about like Kadarius Toney. People thought, oh, he went to KC, he's gonna ball out. Like,
I didn't think that.
Like some of these young guys that just wash out in a year or two. That's it. That's usually it for their career. Like, I feel like his best year was his rookie year. And he'll never be that good again. But I mean, hey, maybe Deshaun Watson start massaging him, and you know how that works. So.
You hate Elijah Moore. That's what I learned today.
The thing is, I don't hate. I think he was awesome 2 years ago. I think I drafted him in a bunch of leagues last year, and he just I'm just saying the history of a guy being 23 and getting traded for nothing
hate.
cannot be good. I haven't
Okay.
looked it up. I'm just telling you, I doubt it's very good. That's
Moving
all I'm
on.
saying.
Moving on. Our last topic because we only have about 3 more minutes left before we wrap this bad boy up.
You're talking about number 60, that bum?
No, we're not gonna talk about. We're not gonna talk about number 60 today. Unfortunately, Michael Thomas. We will
Everybody
talk
else
about.
is irrelevant.
Hold on. No, they're not. No, they're not. 46. Look at number 46.
I love him. He should be higher.
I was going to ask you. That's my question. So if DeAndre Hopkins, I have him ranked 46 right now because
If
honestly,
he goes to Kansas City or Buffalo,
I don't know where he's going to land, but he will move up in my rankings once he does sign. He will. It's just a fact. But right now, on this current day, he is not signed, so therefore he is that low.
I mean, that's fine.
If he goes to Buffalo, how much does he go? Is he going to be higher? How about this? I don't want you to give me a number. Is he going to be a higher with Buffalo or Kansas City?
KC, because they don't have a true number one. But I think either one. I mean, you got Kelsey, obviously. No, either one. I think it's honestly those are the two best options. Both of them need like a real true counterpart to Kelsey, counterpart to Diggs that could just demand targets, and Hopkins would do that. So I don't know what's so funny, but
okay. Josh Wingate in the chat, tell me I'm crazy, and I can't be serious, guys. What I'm saying is not that crazy. What I'm saying is factual, and it will happen. We'll see. We will see. I have DeAndre Hopkins hopefully going to Buffalo because I think that'd be the most fun. And honestly, when we're talking fantasy football, I do want fun. I want to see Kadarius Toney fail. Not fail. I want to see Kadarius Toney thrive.
What did he do to you?
I'm just not a fan. He's just so childish on Twitter. He's just one of those players I'll just never be.
I didn't even know he was on.
He gets in people's DMs and stuff and starts cussing them out.
Oh, good for him. You know what? People talk shit. That's what they I'm on Kadarius Toney's side now. Let's go, KD.
You gonna follow him? You're gonna be his best friend?
I'm about to.
Well, speaking about following, you can follow us on Twitter. First off, the network at Fins Talk Sports Network. We have an amazing array of shows. We actually have a new show debuting on Friday night. The Friday night show is going to be called What the Puck. It's going to be hosted by yours truly, me.
Wait, you're hosting a hockey show?
Just for the finals. I told him I'm not only going to do the finals.
Wow, and I wasn't even. First of all, you didn't even know hockey. First
off, that's why I'm only doing the finals. I know the Lightning, and I know I'm a casual hockey player fan overall. So, but that's I am in locked into the playoffs, buddy. All right, rooting for the Panthers. Let's go.
No,
I know it's
disgusting.
I know it's disgusting.
I'm not doing it.
But it has to be done. Oh, Dave got booted.
I don't know what I did, but okay.
This is a Miami Dolphins, Miami base. We're happy for the Heat. We're happy for the Panthers. Dave,
I don't care about the Heat.
The guys over on radio.
Sure.
Do you think T-Kraz and all them are actually like the Buccaneers? No, they root for the Giants. They root for the Bears. They just pretend like they root for the Bucs on radio, Dave.
Okay, well, guess what?
Can you do that for once?
No. Fucking Bolts and Vikings. That's what we're doing.
So
deal with it. Not everyone's going to suck the Dolphins and the Heats and the Panthers. Someone has to be the bad guy. That'd be me, you know. I'll be the Razor Ramon.
Can I get through my plugs, Dave?
No. I want to watch your hockey show, though. That's what I do need to see.
No, come on. Bobby, can you come on?
Wait,
give me a thumbs up.
What day?
Friday night.
If I'm not busy, what time?
8 o'clock.
Okay.
9 o'clock.
We'll see.
Always welcomed.
Ask me then. But yeah, I might do.
As long as he keeps the slander down, we're good. No, I'm just kidding.
The Panthers are really, really good, but I can't root for them as a Lightning fan. I'm sorry, I just can't.
I get it. It's just coverage. Yeah. It's coverage. That's all it is. It's all good.
I've tried to just let everyone know out there. I didn't do this yet because I didn't see Evan's response. Who Evan's going to be my co-host on that show. He's going to host it. Honestly, I'm just there to have fun with him and talk and give my predictions and because I love the Stanley Cup Finals. It's my favorite tournament. It's my favorite championship. I love
hockey playoffs. I watch all the games, even when the Lightning are out. I watch them all pretty much. I'm up until 2 a.m. watching, the West Coast games, go to triple overtime and shit. So, yeah, I love hockey.
Like a psychopath. So where was I at? Oh yeah, follow us on Twitter at Fins Talk Sports Network. Follow me at Josh Kimmel OUS. Follow Dave at Viking David 18.
Dave 18.
Of course, Dave 18. Other than that, one last thing. We are also looking for a Major League Baseball show. We're looking for people that are into baseball.
That's me. I'm a Marlins fan, baby. Let's go.
Marlins. Yeah. No, I'm being dead serious, guys. We do want to get a baseball show up and running. It is getting hot. We're about to hit the summer months, and that's when baseball really gets good. So if you're listening and you're interested, or you know someone that's interested, please hit us up. You could DM us at Fins Talk Sports Network. You'll be in contact with Bobby, who is the creator and founder of this awesome network. He's behind the scenes right now, so please let us know. Other than that, Bobby, can you play my music?